2000, in the industry since 2004. Work-related achievement would be the top 1% of Las Vegas realtors for 10 plus years. I know Randy's involved with the Nevada Association of Realtors Board of Directors. I think he's taken multiple positions of what I've noticed over the years. His family consists of Terry, his wife, son Lincoln, the master fisherman, dog Tank. Randy loves to fish. I'm going to take likes, but loves to fish, off-roading, camping, traveling, and if you guys are on his Instagram and social media pages, he eats really well, so he loves food. Involved in civic, social, educational groups, and entrepreneur organization. Last book or movie he saw was Good to Great, was a book. Business-related quote that motivates him is, I think sometimes in the biggest challenges, I think in life, sometimes the biggest challenges end up being the best things that happen to you in your life, by Tom Brady. So, target market for Randy would be buyers, sellers, investors, people relocating. Please welcome Randy. Wake up and listen.
Thanks, Howie. So I'm Randy Atara. I'm a broker for Expand Realty and Property Management. We're a full-service real estate company servicing the entire valley. We're on our 14th year in business. A little about myself. I kind of grew up a little differently than a lot of people in the fact that my dad worked for corporate America as a manager in the power company. And the one thing that he passed along was how to use real estate for passive income and wealth. Based on that, he didn't understand the concept of passive income, and he has all these duplexes that he built one by one. And guess who ran them? It was me and my father, and then my brother when he got of age. So during high school, we managed all these properties, and we were the maintenance, we were the property manager, we were collection, we were everything. And quite frankly, in high school, when school ended, my life kind of sucked. I had to go to collect rent from people who had all these sob stories before I could go out and play, and that was really tough in my life. Fast forward, through high school and then college, graduated, went from University of Hawaii to UNLV, graduated, and quite frankly, found a passion back in real estate, and that seed finally blossomed in me, and the fact that I fell in love with real estate for many, many reasons. Now, along the way, I got married to Terry, my wife. We had my son Lincoln, 7-year-old. How we kind of, hit the nail on the head because my life kind of revolves around my family and my son, and then fortunately, work. So it's all about work-life balance today. We travel as much as we can because that's the only time I can get true quality time with my family without the interruptions of sports and work and everything else. So we'll take a 3-4 day getaway, maybe once every other month or something like that. My wife kind of always tells me when that time is, so I show up. But that's what's important in my life. Now, I have a question because on the way here, I watched a podcast from BNI, and it said, there's 7 things that you should really understand for networking. And the first thing is getting your audience engaged. Ask a question that everyone will say yes to. I'm thinking, what are you guys going to say yes to? So I'm like, all right, how many of you guys are millionaires? I thought I would have crickets in the room, and that's what I have, right? Because no one wants to raise their hand. But when I ask the question, who wants to become a millionaire or improve their net worth, I think all of you should raise your hand. So who wants to be a millionaire or improve your net worth? Good, because that's where I can help you regardless of what direction you take, at least give you some mindsets that may help you gravitate towards that direction. And I don't think it's a coincidence that 90% of the United States millionaires made it through real estate. 90% of the United States millionaires made it through real estate. There's a common denominator there, right? Real estate. And a lot of people fail, make mistakes in real estate, and most of them happen in the short term. In the long term, it's hard to mess up a real estate investment. Right? You go through hiccups, you go through growing pains, you go through learning curves, you make mistakes. But at the end of the day, you still have your house or condo or townhome, and it's an asset in your portfolio that normally people don't have, right? And for example, you can build your financial wealth, and a lot of people unfortunately fail to set up their retirement plan or set up a legacy to pass along to their children, right? Because you tap into those funds and then it disappears for whatever reason. Or you mismanage your funds and you don't have enough, through retirement or when the time comes where you pass along your wealth. Most of the time, the real estate asset is still there, and I think Ray can attest for a lot of this. When we deal with trusts and unfortunately probate cases, the one huge asset in these trusts are the house in the trust or the investment of condos or whatever they may be. And a lot of times my job is to liquidate this asset to pay off all the debt from the trust and then distribute to the family. So the trust lives on regardless of whatever happened with this person's or estate's financial decisions, as long as they keep it in their portfolio. So in the long run, real estate is proven to be a pretty safe play. Now, as you guys know, Las Vegas is super volatile right now. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what the heck is going on in Las Vegas? Why would someone invest in today's market? Why would someone buy in today's market? Why would you sell in today's market? It doesn't matter which seat you sit in. I guarantee you there's going to be a ton of questions. So I'll start off with what makes me different than most realtors. There's 15,000 plus realtors in Nevada. And I think the only thing that makes me really different is the fact that I will continue to push getting people what they want. And when I say that, I don't mean by closing a transaction or by getting a commission. I mean, whatever my people want, I try to get them to that promised land. Whether it's real estate related, whether it's a favor, whatever it is, I try to be the common denominator when they have a question or want to know anything about Las Vegas, they come and see me. And that's why I can refer you guys pretty well, because you guys are part of that network that I'm able to present to my clients. That's, I think, the one huge thing that makes me different than most realtors is that I have a lot of relationships, a lot of people that I can refer out. The second thing is that I do my career, I'm a realtor broker with a chip on his shoulder. I think Tom Brady said it best, and I'm not necessarily a Tom Brady fan, but I respect that man with all the respect you can give a person. In the fact that he became the best at what he did. And so, like he said, he played with a chip on his shoulder, and no matter how people said he was the best, he never believed it and had to prove it, right, on the field. And so for me, I play with a chip on my shoulder, and no matter what accolade that, I'm able to accomplish, no matter what stat there is, that's not important to me. What's important to me is the level of education and wisdom that I can sponge and then share with the world. So based on that, I push myself every day to learn something new, become a better practitioner so that I can better consult my clients and make better decisions along the way. And then secondly, educate our agents so that we can excel to the top echelon of what professional services mean to the industry. So I look at it from an industry standard. I play with that chip on my shoulder, and there's self-improvement every day. And I'm sure you guys do the same for yourselves, because that's how we get better, right? And that's how we become, in my opinion, the most successful person you can be in your industry. I don't look at the stats, I don't look at the numbers as much as I do how much can I help people, what's my ability to help people, how in tune and aware am I in my space, and my space is Las Vegas. So based on that, I can tell you just a quick stats that's going on right here, because whether you're a homeowner or tenant, this is all relevant to you individually. Sure. So right now, I'll make it real quick. For May was our market high, and since April was our market high, and since then we've been adjusting since. Fourth quarter, we came almost to a standstill. We 4 times, 5 times inventory. Sales dipped to an all-time low. And those were the holiday months, so it was kind of expected, but it was a rough time for everyone in my industry, vendors, buyers, sellers. They all had a tough time. Market came to pretty much a standstill. January picked up heavily. February picked up more than that. We're in March, and things are booming again. That doesn't mean we're in a healthy market because it's still correcting, it's still volatile, and that's what I'm here to share with you. So right now, our units sold has improved by 397 homes from last month, meaning that there's more sales happening, equating 1,722 sales. New listings has dipped, which means that people aren't putting houses in the market as much as they did during that panic phase, and I'm gonna call it panic because there's a lot of emotional decisions being made. So we have 2243 new listings on the market. And what's pretty cool about this slide is that your median price point went up to 470,000, and that's a 15,000 increase from last month. So sellers are thinking they're gonna get more money. There's still negotiations bringing them back down to medium sold price, which is 425, same as last month. So prices are going up, but sold prices are staying the same, which is more of a healthy market. Units available dipped by 785 properties, equating to 465, and that means there's less inventory. Homes are selling pretty rapidly, and our month supply is 2.7, which is a 1.4 month dip from last month. That's huge, right? That's 35% decrease of inventory since last month. Our market is changing. It's continuing to strengthen and correct. There's still heavy negotiations going on, but these are all indicators that we're in a much more healthy market where it was. Now, I'll summarize by saying that we do expect interest rates to dip, hopefully sometime in 2024. That's Ileana and Dax's department. They can consult you better on that. But based on that, there's a window of opportunity before I feel when interest rates dip, that days will become unaffordable. We will become a city, and prices will continue to go through the roof. And this is my opinion based on facts and trends, but we have a supply issue. We have a supply problem of land, we have a supply problem of water, and demand has always been in a high, being that we're Las Vegas, and people continue to move here. In fact, the US Census is predicting that we get another 600,000 people by year 2020, 2035, which is 12 years from now. How can we facilitate 600,000 people in 12 years? We don't have the housing for that, we don't have the roads for that, we don't have the inventory for that, we don't have the water for that. And with all of that, prices have to go up, and people are gonna slowly get pushed out. And that's what's gonna happen with Las Vegas as long as we keep following these trends. So keep in mind that there's a window of opportunity. If you're renting, it's something to think about, because rents will continue to climb, and inventory will continue to shrink. And same with sales. So if you own, you're in a good place. If you're looking to invest, that's something to think about. I would focus on the cash flow and make sure you're not at a negative. And I think the promised land will come in the near future. So if you want to know anything about that in more detail, or the assets that you already have, or about the home you own, or about the place you rent, this all applies to you. I'm happy to have that one-on-one with you. And ask me the questions. I'm happy to answer them. Again, that is my passion. That is where I feel I thrive in my industry. I love to share. And there's only one reason for education. What's the reason for education if I keep it to myself? Very minimal. But if I can share it with the rest of the world, it makes me feel like $1 million. So please ask me, we'll set it up. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And a good referral for me is anyone that I just shared. It's you guys duplicated by your friends and family. So Randy Hatada, expanding your horizons. You can reach out to me anytime. Thank you.